Well, thank you very much. So thank you and merci. And I do want to say what an impressive group of honorees. I think it's just wonderful, and I'm proud to be part of this distinguished group. J'aimerais mentionner aussi que je vais donner ma parole en anglais parce que la grande majorité du monde ici est anglophone, mais je donne mes salutations chaleureuses au monde francophone ici avec nous ce soir. So from the start of my involvement with Barry and Kata, I've asked myself, what am I doing here with these technological innovators? How did they develop an interest in my unusual focus that I have for my foundation? And the Brian Bronfman Family Foundation, as was mentioned, is dedicated to promoting and supporting pragmatic peace. This emerged both from my background as a mediator and also from the realization that virtually all Canadians value peace, but virtually no one knows what organizations and individuals are making ours a more peaceful society. And yet this realm is so very Canadian in nature. Canada has a precious gift. It's the world in miniature. Canada welcomes and includes people from more cultures per capita than any other nation, I should say. And through its history, Canada has developed a core capability for negotiating among national sovereignties rather than fighting. Canada is a transnational nation embracing the patchwork quilt of humanity with a culturally embedded expertise in peace creation. And while the political winds may shift from time to time, we Canadians recognize this in our souls. Next slide. In a 2010 Environics poll, which was asking, what is it about Canada that you think most deserves to be celebrated, the runaway top answer at 27% was multiculturalism, while other top 15 answers included our being a peaceful country, having nice, friendly people, our contribution to peacekeeping and to world peace, and tolerance. And these are all part of what we are attempting to bring to the forefront. Trying to develop recognition and support for this work and trying to make pragmatic peace into a proper area of philanthropy is indeed socially innovative. So maybe that's where my foundation fits in. And it explains CATA and iCanada's precious interest and involvement. Barry and his group are among the first to catch on and buy into this idea, innovators that they are. So together we've created the Canadian Peace Service and the Communities at Peace initiative, whose goal is to make Canada the world leader in pragmatic peace by 2020. My foundation is a grant maker. I personally, as someone who has worked in the field on many different levels, and the Quebec Peace Grantmakers Network that I founded, reflected here, are actively involved with a multitude of initiatives that help to create a more peaceful, nonviolent, compassionate, harmonious, and emotionally intelligent society. We only focus on grassroots initiatives. We avoid all things that are just purely symbolic or political. So there's going to be no candlelighting, there are no sing-alongs that we're involved with, and we leave the lobbying efforts to others. Next slide. These right here are just some of the wonderful peace programs from the Montreal area. Most of them are modest in size, they're local in nature, but certain ones have begun to expand to other provinces and even other countries. And the best example I can think of that is Leave Out Violence, or LOVE. It started in Montreal, but now with offices in Toronto, Vancouver, Halifax, New York City, and even overseas, LOVE is a national success story. It uses media arts in helping adolescents whose lives are scarred by violence to turn their lives around. Next slide. Through the Canadian Peace Service, we are now harnessing social technology for social good. The first recipient of these efforts being LOVE. iCanada and Orion, with the very generous support of the Information and Communications Technology Council, have created a new social networking concept. Next slide. When going on to this specially designed website, you'll see the iCanada logo at the top, along with a description of a charitable organization, in this case, LOVE. There's also an About the Cause button, a button to sponsors and partners, and one to donate to the cause. Next slide. So scrolling down the page, you come to a video. The video needs to be appropriate to the theme, in this case, peace, and it needs to be compelling, hopefully going viral, but at least getting a whole lot of hits. Because, next slide, the unique feature here is that as individuals watch the video, a counter runs, and the dollar and cents total rises. The user is informed on the website that by watching the video, the recipient organization receives support from the sponsor. So the user is aware of their contribution to the social good as well. The first video was actually filmed here yesterday at the SAT, and you're going to see you'll be getting a taste of the unique dance portion that was filmed for the video. And it was very exciting, and I had the pleasure of seeing my daughter do the dance as well, and it was extremely moving for me. And again, you'll be seeing that shortly. So I want to mention also that much like photography and video-based storytelling that are used by Love to refocus youth in a positive way, those involved with dance are using their energy non-violently, they're developing their emotional sensitivity, and they're making a positive contribution to our society. So I believe it is an appropriate subject for a video. So thank you once again to the Information and Communications Technology Council for being our first sponsor, and thereby showing itself to be a pioneer and innovator in the use of social media for social good. And now it's my distinct pleasure to introduce Namir Anani, President and CEO of ICTC. Thank you.
Thank you for the introduction.